Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pere Akuna, and here I talk about faith, type 1 diabetes, mental health, and lifestyle. And please, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification so that you get notified each time I post a new video. And also, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video at the end of it. So today I'm going to be talking about my depression story. So this is in most of my videos. I usually talk about how I went through depression and things like that, depression, anxiety, and things like that. But I've never really shared my story with anyone of you guys. So I need to share my story. I just figured out that I need to share my story with you guys of how I went through depression and how I overcame depression. So stay tuned. So my depression story started when I was 8 years old and it lasted till last year where I decided to get therapy, decided to get help. And even with the help last year December when I went for therapy, I was prescribed some drugs for depression and those drugs didn't really seem effective. Like they worked in my depression aspect, but the side effects and all those stuff were just too much for me to handle, so I couldn't handle them. So I had to go on a self recovery. So when I was 8 years old, I went through a series of events that actually caused my depression. So I remember when I was in primary school, um, it was something else for me. It was I would be having some kind of like I started having around 8 to 10 years old. I started having suicidal thoughts. I started having some kind of behavior, some kind of habits whereby I will hide a knife in my clothes, in my clothes, closets, whatever it is. I will hide knife in there, waiting for everybody to leave home so that I could actually stab myself. So, but it was unsuccessful. So I started having some kind of habit whereby I would look myself in the mirror each day and I would tell myself that you know what, parent, you don't deserve to be happy, you don't deserve to enjoy life, you don't deserve to be free, you just need to die. Maybe when you're dead, or you're the cause of everybody being sad, and when you're dead, everybody will be happy. So I had such thoughts every time till I got into secondary school, and then it became worse. I could just be talking with my friends, speaking with my friends, and everything, and I'll start crying. And I couldn't even tell why I was crying. I just knew that negative thoughts got into my head and I started crying. So that was it and everything. And then after a while, I started separating myself from my friends. I couldn't have friends for a long time. If I have friends today, I get excited about having friends. Then later on, I see myself getting close to this friend, be it male or female. I see myself getting close to them as like really close friends. And then what negative thoughts start coming into my mind again and saying, you're going to just make this person sad. Or this person is going to make you more sad. Like it was really bad. I had those thoughts every day, and because of that, I would separate myself from my friends and all that. It was really really bad. So it went on like that. I couldn't tell anybody about what was going on because I didn't even know what was wrong with me. It was a sad story. I didn't know what was wrong with me. All I knew was that I was always sad, always having this negative thought, always having suicidal thought, always thinking about taking my life. Then at a point in time, I started self-harming and all those stuff. I would take a razor blade and I'll start scraping my body. I was just scraping my arms and all those stuff. And like, even though it was painful, it was like a way to distract me from the pains that I was going through. So in all of this, trying to cope with depression and everything, I started binge eating. I would eat excessively, eat like a day. In a day, I would eat up to 7 times, and then I eat. Thank God for my body, I don't just had weight. If not, I would have been very, very like I would have been overweight. But I started binge eating, and it was affecting my blood sugar level. So I would binge eat. My blood sugar level would go up. It would make me feel sick. I would fall back into depression. I would binge eat again, take my drugs, binge eat again. I will go back into hyperglycemia, which is high blood sugar level, and then what will happen is that I'll fall deeper into depression again. So it was just like a cycle until I actually spoke up and everything. That's why my parents didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew. My family didn't know what was going on until I was about 15, 16 years old. I decided to say, you know what? Then my brother was a medical student, but it wasn't around at that point in time. But you know what? I decided to say at the point in time, I decided to say I needed help. I needed to be happy. I needed to be free. Like these thoughts are actually killing me, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to commit suicide. I'm actually going to kill myself. So at that point in time, what happened was that I started getting exposure to those things. I started browsing about those things and everything, searching through the internet, like what is wrong with me. And then I found out that I'm actually depressed. So yeah, I found out that I was actually depressed, and so I was like, you know what, I need help. But who am I going to talk to? I tried speaking with my friends. I couldn't explain what was going on. It was bad. I couldn't explain what was going on. I did different things about it. It didn't work out. So I decided to talk to my brother who was a medical student, and I talked to him and I told him that, you know what, I think I'm depressed. I think I'm going through depression. So when he came back from school for the holiday, I think I was still 16 years then, if I'm correct. I think I was still 16 years old when he came around for the holiday, and he sat me down with my mom and my brothers, and he told me to speak up, like what was going on. And it was really hard for me to remember everything, but I told him this was what I would always think about. Each and every time that I was depressed, I would recall the events that usually crossed my mind and everything like that. So I told him about it, and he talked to me about it and everything. And I felt really free. I felt okay. I felt like this was the end of it. The next day I was all happy. My friend came around. We're all jolly and all that. Until it was not until later on, some weeks later, I fell into depression again. And I was like, what is going on? I actually thought I had overcome this stuff. What is going on? And then I realized that depression wasn't something that just went off like in a day. It takes time. It takes more than just speaking up. So I went back into depression. I became depressed again. So I think if I'm correct, that happened in the year when I was 18 years old. Sorry, that didn't happen. I didn't speak to my brother till I was 18 years old, 2008. I remember clearly because I had met my best friend in the university. So I was already in the university when he came around, and I told him about all that was happening. And so I fell back into depression some weeks later, and it was something else for me. This time it was bad. It was really, really bad. So I already knew what happened. I already knew, okay, this was what I did to get over my depression the first time, or this is what I did that made me come out for a little while. So I started speaking up with my friend, my best friend. Then I spoke to her and everything, and I told her that I really feel sad. I don't know what was happening and everything, but I really, really feel down. And she spoke to me, and I felt free again. I felt okay for a while. Weeks later, again, I went back into depression, and this time it was worse. This time I couldn't speak to anybody. I was just crying non-stop. I would cry myself to sleep. I would separate myself from everybody. I wouldn't go for classes. I was avoiding classes like a plague, like it was a plague. Avoiding classes each, like on a steady. So it was really, really bad for me. And then my health was in a bad place. Me being a type 1 diabetic was really, really something else. For those who don't know, type 1 diabetes can also lead to depression. So that me being diabetic and me already going through depression was them coming together was a whole lot for me. They combined and they made my depression so worse. Then I had low self-esteem, which was what I was struggling with, something I struggled with while I was in secondary school. So it was a whole lot happening, a whole lot happening, a lot. Then not until last year I started suffering from anxiety. It was really bad. I could if someone is scared close to me, it's normal for you to sometimes feel scared when somebody close to you is feeling scared. But my own would be bad. Like I would start feeling tightness in my chest. I would start having this rapid negative thoughts like going around like I'm going to fall. And it was related to my health, because each time something happened and I felt a little bit sick, I will always have this thought like I'm going to be rushed to the hospital, I'm going to die this time, and things like that. So it was really, really bad for me. All that. But when I was last year, December, that's 2021, December 2021, I got exposed. I went for my clinical posting as a nursing student. I went for my clinical posting in the hospital, and we posted to a mental ward. And then I got to see people who were actually depressed, who were going through depressions, who had schizophrenia and all that. I got exposed to the mental world and everything. And you know what? After the whole posting, I had another series. I had another series of like a depressive episode during, like, we're having an exam after the whole posting and all that, and I had a depressive mood episode and all that. I know what, at the point in time I was like, I really need help. Like, this is not normal anymore. This isn't okay anymore. I need help. So when I got back to school that period, I went to the mental. Thank God they had a mental sector, a mental section in their teaching hospital. I went there and I told them, you know what, this is what is happening to me. I need help. I wasn't able to sleep. I was always having negative thoughts. Like, and I went to meet the doctor and I told her, and I was like, you know what? Um, I suffered from depression, and this is what happened. This is what happened. I think it's coming back again. Like, it's coming back stronger and all that. And she talked to me. She spoke with me and everything. And from then on, I started going through therapy, and she gave me some medications to help me. So I realized that those medications, like, I took those medications and they helped me. They lifted my mood and everything. But then there were some effects to the medications. I became hyperactive and all that. I became very, very hyperactive. I became excessively aggressive and all that. You know what? I went to meet the doctor again and I said, no, I can't take these medications. Like, they are not for me and everything. And they prescribed another medication for me. But instead, like, when I took the other medications too, it was the same thing. And it was the same thing. So, you know what? I said, instead, I think I'll go through this journey again on my own. I was able to be okay for a while. I think I need to just continue the cycle of recovery on my own. And then that's what I did. I started talking to my friends about it. Each time I would feel depressed and everything, before it will lead to like those negative thoughts, I started doing some kind of things. I would involve myself in things that will make me feel happy, things I love to do. I'm multi-talented, so I'm multi-skilled. So I started getting myself busy with those things that makes me happy, that makes me get involved with people and things like that. It was really, really hard for me, and I'm still in my journey to recovery. But I know that at the point in time, there will come a time where I'll fully recover. So this is my depression story. All that, I really hope I'm sharing this story because in Nigeria there is no much, like, a lot of people do not come out to talk about things that are troubling them, talk about depression and schizophrenia, because it's like a taboo in Nigeria. People are ignorant, one. Number two, people have spiritual beliefs towards these things, like that they are caused by demon possession and all those stuff, which I'm a Christian. I believe that I believe in some kind of things. I believe in things relating to the Bible. But I also believe that depression is something, it's like an illness that needs help. When someone is sick, they need help. They need help. They need to be taken to the hospital, prayed for, and things like that, and not being set like an outcast. So, and that's why I'm coming out to share my story, to help other people to be able to share their story and to tell people that this thing is real. Depression is real, schizophrenia is real, mental illnesses are real, and it doesn't mean that this person is what do they call it? This person doesn't deserve to live, or this person has done something really bad that caused it. It's like malaria. The person didn't really do something bad that caused the illness. It happened. The person was faced with situation, or it just happened. So these people need help. I needed help and I got the help. And I also made this video to encourage people going through such situation that they need to seek help. Therapy in Nigeria is not really much of a thing, and even where it's a thing, it's very very expensive. But you can still seek help. There are free therapy sections that are being given and everything. And talking to your friends, doing a lot of things which I'm going to be sharing in another video can also help you, and also for you to know that you are you deserve to live, you deserve to be happy, and that's going to happen. So thank you so much for listening to my story. I do hope you learned a lot from it. I do hope that you got encouraged if you're going through one mental illness or the other. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.